What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the red color, playing as Hades. His name is 3antozz. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Rapl. The map is Oasis. This is game number 2 of this best of 5 series for the round of 16. Winner takes all. Well, winner takes all. I don't know. Winner takes all. Let's just say it's winner takes all. So Rapl playing Odin and 3antozz switching it up right now into Hades, wanting to try out his Hades on the map Oasis here. Makes a lot of sense moving into Hades onto this map. Hades is a really, really strong god against pretty much every single civilization. You can definitely outplay your opponent. Hades is definitely a civilization with, if you play the correct way with Hades, you're going to have a lot more success than if you were to play, say, the correct way with a weaker civilization, is generally the way I like to put it. But the map is Oasis, and Oasis is actually, funnily enough, a pretty good map for Odin. Why is it a good map for Odin? Well, Odin has got access to Great Hunt, so it means that there are very, very few Oasises where he's not going to be happy in the classical age. He's going to have a really good classical age most of the time. But more importantly is that Norse can get themselves a second scout out. Now, it does cost them 80 resources, 50 food, 30 gold, and it does cost them 9 seconds of town center training time. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. You get so much value out of having these Ulfsarks, out of having all of these extra goat. Now, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the goat that Rapl has managed to claim. He's claimed 16 goat here in this game. 3antozz, he's claimed himself 12. So 3antozz has actually done a really, really nice job here. I think Rapl may have misplayed the scouting in the early game ever so slightly, or maybe gotten his Skraeling out, or his Ulfsark, I should say, out a little bit late here, as he does steal one more goat away from 3antozz here. Nice play there, so he's going to get one more. The reason I say maybe is Rapl went for a handful of villagers first and then got his second Ulfsark out. Had he got the Ulfsark out at the very start of this game, he possibly would have been able to claim potentially all the way up to here on this side of the map, or even claim even more over on the top side of the map and find just a little bit more of those herdables. Now, there is one other play you can do with Odin on this map, which I also think is incredibly strong. I think it's super undervalued, is the Great Hunt on the goats. If you have 16 goats and you Great Hunt these goats at the very start of the game, or at least at least earlier in the game, they're going to be less than 100 food. You get 750 food worth of Great Hunting with Odin's Great Hunt. So the earlier you use it, the potentially more goats you can make. But let's just say you use it on these goats at about 2 minutes into the game, and say you've got 12, you could potentially get an extra 12 goats in your main base and have yourself sitting at 29 goats in your main base and be able to gather herdables for days, which is a really big deal. But we saw Rapl, he's taken the Great Hunt on the zebra here. Freya coming through. We do see the second age of 3antozz will be coming through as well, going through Athena. Slight delay there. I think it was going for a 344 advanced time, but he's hit a 350 here. And he's going to be finishing up on this giraffe. Now, there aren't a whole lot of giraffe here. There's only 2 giraffe on this map, so it's not the best of the best of the best Oasis maps for Odin here. We'll have to wait and see what 3antozz's play or 3antoz's decision here in this game is. Now, I am partial to the idea of a potential second town center here with Hades, with the idea being second town center fast heroic, with walls and everything, and just trying to play defense. And what can then Rapl do in that situation? The timing attack doesn't really work against a fast second town center. He's going to have to somehow get a gold staff, basically. And with gold being split over both sides of the map, a wall going from this location down to here makes it really, really tough for the Odin player to actually get a win where that's concerned. As we do see the Ajax I told a lie. Looks like 3antozz just got an Ajax out. He wasn't that delayed, potentially. Oh, no, he was... None of that makes sense. I think 3antozz went for a 430 plus Ajax, so he was going for a 439 and hit like a 447 or something. Anyways. We will be seeing the Valkyrie moving forward, looking to take out some villages and everything else over here. Is it archery range? Military Academy coming up. Interesting. I'm not sure about this play here from 3antozz. There's not going to be anything for him to attack with his units here. So it's like a forward military base here from 3antozz. He's obviously looking to be very, very aggressive here. And there is really just nothing for... I mean, there's this hunt here, I guess. There's Rapl's not on it, so that makes some sense here. So 3antozz will be able to potentially attack this hunt on that position. And we'll see if Rapl is going to be wanting to move over there or not. He's scouted the forward base. He knows that Chiron's coming. He needs to make a decision, and he makes a fantastic decision to simply just walk back into the main base. As we do see Forest Fire getting dropped down. No villager kills. No real damage done to those villagers either. And 3antozz is Sentinel here. He's going to be very upset about this. He probably should just put another mining camp down over on this side and just call it a day. As the army comes through. And Rapl here, he's not going to be able to get his hunt just yet. He's not building... Wait. He's not building anything. What is the game plan here from Rapl? He's made himself a handful of military units. Okay, now he's building some throw and axemen. A handful of military units. He's getting himself watchtowers. He needs to wall this up. This tower here is vitally important if he's doing what I think he's doing here. Because these units, because he can just send his Minotaur in. We do see the wooden wall getting queued up over there as the units moving over onto that location. But this is a spicy strategy from Rapl. We'll see if it's going to work out for him. 3antozz is going for the full send here. And the units are just pulling back. Rapl just happily going to sit in his base, eating chickens for the time being. He's getting villagers onto wood, making himself throwing axemen. Plenty of gold income as well. He's got the wall set up over here, so moving from one side of the map to the other side of the map is going to be a very, very simple possibility. Very difficult for 3antozz to make that damage work, as the raiding cavalry, Valkyrie raiding cavalry moving all the way around the other side, going to be looking for some villager kills. I do think like raiding Hades' main base is just not possible. With these sentinels, the town center, the base being as defensive as it is here, Rapl's not going to get much value out of this at all. As we're still seeing throw and axeman getting built. Just one throw and axeman getting built here. So clearly Rapl is doing some sort of semi-fast heroic here. Whereas 3antozz, he stops production completely. And maybe he's going to be going for a heroic age here as well. He needs another house fairly soon. Obviously with no production, it doesn't really matter for a little bit longer. 3antozz's got plenty of resources in the bank. He might be looking to grab a town center here. It kind of looks like he is looking to grab a town center at this point. As he just spent those resources. Yeah, he's grabbing this town center up here. Is Rapl going to go for another Njord timing attack here? I don't know. Well, it's going to work. Why does it work? Well, the reason it's going to work is Rapl can go into if 3antozz grabs this town center, and if 3antozz does not have enough food in his main base, which he does have here if he doesn't continue to build units, he can get to the heroic age, and he can really put a stoppage on any sort of timing attack here. But it seems to me that Rapl's plan here is... Well, is he just grabbing a town center himself? I'm not reading this game well at all. I've got no idea what's happening here. I was thinking potentially Rapl could go for mass Huskarl throw an axeman here to punish this town center. But it looks to me like Rapl has seen the town center going up. He's going to be adapting to this, grab this town center and go to the heroic age as well. Absolutely wild. We do see the units coming around onto this location here, and he might be able to spot Rapl getting this town center up. It looks like the army is making its way through. Rapl does not want this. He's made a pretty big mistake over here. Meanwhile, we do see a couple more units getting taken out on this location. This potentially could get punished here, as the army coming in here. We'll be seeing the town center getting shot up here, starting to get some damage done. Rapl will not want to fight this in the slightest. He's going to turn around, and he has to retreat off of this town center here. He's going to have to delete that town center, and 3antozz gets everything he wants to some degree. Stopping a Norse player building the town center isn't as big as potentially stopping a Greek or Egyptian or Atlantean player building a town center, because you don't stop any of the resources coming in. But it looks to me like Rapl's armory is just a little bit late here. His plan was definitely to get to that next age, but he's shorted himself a little bit over here as the armory is going to be coming up. 3antozz pushing around, looking for something to kill. He's just checking this hunt over here as that hasn't been grabbed. Rapl could have potentially, when he sent the raid over onto this town center and saw the army over there, he could have potentially moved around here and grabbed this hunt and enjoyed that. We do see Scardias coming through. Rapl is going to be playing this game very, very slow here. He moves in to this location. He's going to be grabbing this town center now. Very, very spicy play here. This is a very strategical game here. It's a game of cat and mouse, so to speak. A game of rock, paper, scissors as well. As we do see the villagers here going to be shanking down the raiding cavalry. Rapl makes a slight mistake here, trying to get in there and get some villager kills. He's not going to be able to do that just yet. As the longhouse over here going to be getting taken down. Dwarves making their move over onto this gold mine here. As you do see this one stray villager trying to get some walls up over here. I imagine Rapl is going to be making his way over here to drop a hill fort. Villager differential here is only 5 villagers. Rapl's had this town center for a significantly longer period of time than Rapl has been having this town. So not only that, we've also got probably a whole bunch of dwarves that have been built here as well. 11 dwarves as that villager gets sniped down. And Rapl moves over here. The army going to have to move all the way back to stop this gold mine from getting grabbed. And I think that this is going to be enough time here for Rapl to get himself up a hill fort on this position. We do see villagers, or not villagers, but a military academy getting thrown down onto this position over here to try and block off that location there. But the hill fort coming down, Huskarl going to be an option here for Rapl. Having access to Frost as well. This is looking like a very scary position for 3antozz to be in. We'll see how he's going to go, as he's still not in the heroic age. He still doesn't have access to those Paspers, which he desperately needs here. As Huskarl coming through, potentially as another hill fort could come down. I wouldn't mind seeing a hill fort getting placed right here to put pressure onto this town center for Rapl if he so chooses. He's also got not making any throwing axemen here. He's just making hill fort Huskarls, and is he making some frost giants? No frost giants just yet, as the army going to be coming through here. Rapl going to be looking to take a slight fight here. Sniping down that Ajax is going to be huge, as the frost giant now making its way in could potentially freeze that Minotaur in its place there, as he does manage to do so. Kind of not the best freeze in the world right in the middle of the army there. He's not going to be able to kill that one just yet, as more units coming through for Rapl. 3antozz is sitting at 98 of 120 population. He's not producing units quite consistently anymore. And this is the thing that I was talking about. 3antozz here doesn't manage to get to the heroic age. So he's going to be stuck here in the classical age, having to farm. He's on 2 town centers. He did not have the resources to get to the heroic age. And Rapl is now getting himself heavy infantry. Heavy infantry with Huskarl throwing axemen against the Hoplite Toxotes army. This is going to be one incredibly tough army for 3antozz to deal with here. As Rapl is now swinging up to the top side, I would love to just see him just move forward here, click Frost, and just take this town center down. We'll see how things are going to work, though, as heavy infantry just about to pop. Rapl, he should not be giving 3antozz the time here. He needs to start putting pressure on in some way, shape, or form. Figure out a way forward into this base. These military building placement here from 3antozz is incredibly strong here, as we do see a wall coming up. It kind of looks like Rapl's idea here is to throw up a market, and he is throwing that up, and hit a potential Fimble winter timing attack here, which I think is just as strong as potentially an attack straight away, but it does give 3antozz a chance here to get to the heroic age, as his farms are coming down. Villagers are moving elsewhere over here, potentially over onto this wood line. Needs to rebuild his storehouse on that position there to continue to be incredibly efficient here. But look, Rapl is still eating herdables in this game. He's going to be able to sell that wood, and he's going to be able to advance to the next age here, as he cuts everything tier on the way to set up for an incredibly strong timing attack here. 3antozz has not read this well at all. He's gone right up to full population, basically, in the classical age, and he's not going to have the tech to be able to defend here any way, shape, or form. We are going to start seeing the military academies getting broken down, more military buildings getting thrown down here for Antozz. Vault of Erebus coming through very, very late here. Vault of Erebus, for those of you who do not understand, it is a technology which gives you a 45 free gold a minute. So basically, with 100 wood, it takes 2 minutes to pay for that, and then with the 10 favor, or wait, 10 favor, 5 favor, it takes about 50 seconds ish to pay for the favor. So you're looking at a very long time for that technology to actually pay itself off. So it's better to get it really, really early if you're going to get it at all. As the military academy going to be getting broken down here. I do wonder if with those villages over here, that's 18 villages. A frost, just click frost onto this location here. You're going to hit those villages. You're going to be able to break down the military academies. We do see this town center getting thrown up while this is all going on, as some villages are making their way over here to sneak this these giraffe. But a couple of military academies are over here with a very low HP hoplite. As the army's still trying to push through here. You see, look at the Huskar able to just come in. This is like 300 here. Beautiful path blocking here from Antozz, in all honesty. He's making it work nicely. Winter Harvest coming through here as well for Rapl. As the units do manage to get through here, we do see the Frost getting pushed through as Antozz manages to pull 10 villages away from that location there. Fimble Winter comes through, but the spawn is on the wrong side of the town center. We'll see what's going to happen here. Will these units be able to get through or not? Had they spawned over here, it would have been a completely different story. Maybe Rapl should just break down this military academy to allow those units to come through. We do see the villagers going to be trying to repair this one back up. Do we have champion infantry coming through? Yes, we do, to boot here, as it looks like the town center shall be getting taken down. We will also see the third town center coming up here for Rapl. Rapple's economy is so incredibly strong here. In the main base here, we see the Fimble Winter Wolves have idled all of these farms here to boot, as Antozz is completely stuck in this second age here. As champion infantry will be able to come through very, very shortly here as well. Restoration comes through just a little bit early here to try and keep this town center alive. As the units stop trying to take the town center down, we will be seeing the attack continuing to push through here. A handful of military buildings coming through here as Rapl is just trying to push as best as he possibly can onto this location. The Hearsts are going to be able to target down that Minotaur as best as it possibly can here. 128 population for Rapl to 120 population for Antozz here in this location, as Rapl has not managed to push through here for the time being. He's going to have to retreat back. I wouldn't mind seeing some ballista coming out here for Rapl here, as well, as the gold mine does get expired there. This is a dangerous position for Rapl, because on this top side, Antozz has got these military buildings, and there is a potential for a underworld passage to come through here. And while Rapl has got a commanding lead here in this game, we are seeing him throwing up military buildings on the top side of the map. Antozz, he definitely has a possibility here to fight his way back into this game, especially with some sort of a underworld play here, as Rapl finishes up with those giraffes really, really fast here, moving those villagers from the from being idled there back over onto berries. We'll see a strafe villager here as well. We'll see if you actually will notice that or not. Sometimes it can be a little bit challenging there, as we've got some walls getting thrown up over onto this position, as well as some raids coming through. Champion Ulfsark. You can't villager fight Champion Ulfsark. They will kill so many villagers here as they move forward, and we will see those villagers retreating back as the units moving back in onto this position, still trying to break through here. This one military barracks here is just being so obnoxiously strong here. And we see Antozz is just continuously taking this, making these buildings here, making it incredibly tough for Rapl to push in onto this position. Rapl needs some sort of siege here to make this work. I would love to see a handful of ballista and a wall get placed here just to be able to start taking out those archers on the back there. We're seeing more military buildings coming down for Rapl. A third town center is now up for Antozz. He's still stuck in the classical age here, as the unit's still breaking through. Do we see any armory upgrades? We do see just the relic here, the Thundercloud Shawl. I think I missed that one, as that's basically taking away the advantage of the Hades boost to the archers there, which is really, really big for Rapl in this game, as this military academy going to be getting broken down. It's going to be allowing his units to push through here. And in that moment, 3antozz, he doesn't want to fight it out any longer. He will be tapping out. GG. Well played by Rapl. 3antozz just kind of not 100% sure what decision to make here in this game. He goes for the safe play of just building units and staying in the classical age. But in the end, if the Norse player makes the correct decision here to punish that, you're going to be in a really, really difficult position. You got to ask the question here, what would have happened had 3antozz, instead of building all of these hoplites and utilizing that food he was gathering to go to the heroic age here and start making Hypaspist as an option, potentially also throwing a market down, putting a ton of villagers on gold, making Nemean lions or something like that, making and buying food here as well to help him manage his kind of need for resources. Would he have been able to hold against this kind of pressure that Rapl was putting onto him or not is the big question. But Rapl shows some incredibly strong strategic decision-making here in this matchup, and he manages to claim game number 2 here. Will 3antozz be able to make any sort of a comeback, adjust in game number 3 or not here? We'll have to wait and see. Rapl is playing this incredibly well so far. If you guys are enjoying this series, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.